The Steve and Vikki podcast is brought to you by the brand new gender-neutral Halloween trick-or-treat candy. Listen to this.
Whether you're 6 or 60, candy is the best part of Halloween. But in this day and age, it's important to be smart and sensitive in your candy choices. That's why there's new gender-neutral Halloween candy. Buy a bag of 3 Musket Persons or Mrs. Goodbar. Or how about some Mom or Pop Rocks? Or enjoy a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, even if you're not wearing one. Or how about a Baby Ruth or Rudy? And look for Caitlyn Jenner's picture on the new Mounds or Almond Joy, because sometimes you feel like you were born with nuts, and sometimes you don't. Make this Halloween equally fun for everyone with gender-neutral candy. And don't forget to pick up a bag of Hershey's Consensual Kisses.
Halloween is Satan's night.
You're the scariest man I know.
I didn't want.
And I am still trying to decide on my costume.
For my daughter's costume, we dyed her fingers yellow, and she went as a chain smoker.
We never should have let her go trick-or-treating dressed as Florida.
Wine experts have actually come up with a list of the best wines to pair with Halloween candy.
I don't know whether to be scared or proud of my cousin. It's Halloween, sir. Proud it is.
It's the Steve and Vikki podcast with Tom Sullivan. They used to be radio's #1 with women and men, but the suits let them go for a childish replacement. So now they broadcast from Steve's dark and stinky basement.
It is a little stinky today, too.
Yeah, it is.
And boy, what a difference a couple of weeks make. Huh?
Wow. Steve, you look rested.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm really rested.
What were you thinking?
I don't know, man.
When last we met, Steve wasn't getting much sleep because he was getting up, doing a morning show. And now...
No, not anymore.
No more.
I heard you had a run-in with Donald Trump. What happened?
Is
Donald
that what
Trump
happened?
fired me right on the spot, ma'am.
And more importantly,
what
obviously...
happened?
Donald Trump was supposed to call us on Monday morning, and he didn't.
Is this for real, or are you making this part up?
No. Why would I make it up now?
Are you crossing your feet
now?
or your fingers or anything? Okay,
What?
go ahead. No, go ahead.
So he was supposed to call us on Monday morning, and he did not, and I promoted it 3 times on the air. And so then I had this old interview with Trump that we had done a year or so ago, and so I played that back.
Why didn't you just say it? Why don't you just say he canceled? And
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't.
so I got a chance to talk to him a couple of years ago, and here's what I never even actually heard it. Did you, Tom?
No, do you?
No, Trump wanted it destroyed. I had to write a personal letter to him of apology. Too.
Really? You had to apologize to Donald Trump?
Yeah, I did too.
Wow.
So I've got that framed and up on my wall of shame. And and I apologized to everybody that I needed to, and to the audience. I certainly apologize. I didn't mean to do anything, irreprehensible, but
yeah,
I guess I did.
Well, we talked about this in like entertainment radio. Interviews are taped a lot, and we kind of rework them, for time constraints, and maybe we didn't get the answer we really, really wanted. So we'll resubstitute a question, to kind of get what we need. So maybe you just kind of are in that same mindset, right?
Right. The top 40 mindset of things that...
I happen to have gotten a hold of Donald Trump.
Oh, you did?
And I had a little brief interview with him.
Oh, okay. Good.
And I thought I'd just share it now for us.
Good, okay. Well, let's hear that.
Well, thank you for agreeing to speak with me about Steve McCoy and what happened. I'll be as quick as I can.
Well, I'd like to do it as quickly as possible.
All right, well, I'll get right to it. Let's just be honest. Steve fucked up.
Well, it's a harsh way of putting it, but perhaps I could say it that way, yes.
Well, he reenacted that whole interview.
I'm actually surprised, very surprised.
As we all were and still are, actually.
Just a disastrous decision.
You're so right. It's really Radio 101. Duh. I mean, come on. If you're going to fake an interview, you know what I'm saying?
So a lightweight like this...
Steve McCoy.
He's a total lightweight, by the way. Believe me, he's got such problems.
Yeah, he does. His wife tells me the same thing. Everyone here in Atlanta is still talking how Steve fucked up.
When his mother heard about it, and when other people in the area heard about it, some of them said, "Oh, I could see that with him," but others were very surprised. So it's a very tough situation.
Yeah, and the media is still pestering Steve for an interview.
The press make headlines out of it, and they make it like, "Oh, there's a big story." It's ridiculous.
And what Steve did really does tarnish the good radio people like myself and Vikki.
It's so disgusting. I'll tell you what, the media is so dishonest.
Well, the management said they didn't even know.
They weren't talking to each other, and they weren't talking because they didn't like each other, and They had a lot of problems.
Yeah, typical management. And they fired Steve over this.
Real brilliant thinkers that didn't know what the hell they were doing. And it's a mess.
A big mess. Enough about their ratings, Donald.
It's one of those things. It's horrible, and it's a horrible thing to see.
And to listen to. Listen, I wish Steve still had his job.
Well, all I'm saying is he's not going to get the job done.
Or maybe he could just say, I'm sorry, or write an apology letter.
I would certainly give an apology.
Yes, and if he just had really actually spoken to you on the phone and not fake the interview.
I'm not saying I would have prevented it, but I would have had a chance because I'm pretty good at this stuff.
You are. Hey, well, listen, I've got an extra wall builder for you. His name is Steve McCoy. Listen, Donald, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Tom Sullivan, yeah.
Thank you.
Nice
Actually,
interview.
on the phone with Donald Trump.
That's nice. Good. Yeah. Good stuff, Tom.
I'm sorry
Thank
that all
you.
happened, Steve. I won't rib you about it anymore.
That's all right, buddy.
Until
It's
next
all right.
week.
Yeah, next week at the same time.
But on a serious note, then, not only does he lose his job, but we find out something that Tom and I had suspected and some of your closest friends had.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that?
Well, sure. Yeah, that I've got Parkinson's disease. I've had that since 09, got diagnosed in 09.
Really? Wow. No, Steve, I had no idea. Seriously, that long ago.
Yeah. Been fighting it off with some medicines and some high powerful drugs that keep it at bay a little bit. So my symptoms have been kind of minor compared to a lot of other people's, but you know.
Is it why your voice is a little scratchy?
Yeah,
It's
it affects
affected
my
your
voice too a little bit. I think it affects everybody differently. Some people have trouble with walking. Some people.
Is that why you hurt your leg too?
No, it's not. No, my leg was different. I think
That was just
different.
klutz?
Yeah,
Being a
just
klutz?
being a
Okay.
klutz, yeah. Being a bonehead. Yeah, with the everybody affects them differently. Some people have trouble with their balance and all of that, and I don't have too much trouble with that. Some people's voices get robbed of them. There's a man that I met the other day with Parkinson's that his voice was just about gone. He has to whisper pretty much. He was 70-something. So, but God's little funny trick, I guess, on me.
But I think, you know what, like I told you, I think it's a blessing that you're not actually having to get up at 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
You can sleep in. Your health is more important.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's a
doesn't
good
stress play a big part in Parkinson's?
Yeah, stress is bad for you, and radio is obviously stressful.
Right.
And all that.
Yeah, plus you were in a news environment, unlike radio where we can relax, for like 3 or 4 minutes with a record. We had breaks. I mean, you got to always be bam, 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 breaking news stories.
It was like running the nuclear warheads is what I aligned it to. You never even had time in the news format to do anything, to go to the bathroom, get a cup of coffee. It was every minute I had to do something else or intro something or do something. So it was kind of tense and intense, too.
How did the family take it?
Well, my wife knew. My sons did not know until that week. And my daughter and son-in-law knew about it about a year ago. They had kind of figured it out on their own and kind of came to me and, made me tell them because they said, we think you have Parkinson's. We see you shaking. And so I said, well, all right, I do. So I told my daughter.
But you lied to us when we said you had it. Now
Well-
I feel bad. I remember Tom and I would notice your hand, and I said, what, do you have Parkinson's or something? And you're like, no.
Oh, my God. Did you really say that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She did one day at lunch, years ago, too.
Yeah.
And I said, no,
Well,
too much coffee.
I wasn't with you, though, was I?
No,
when
you
said-
weren't.
Yeah, because,
Yeah. No, you weren't with us at that lunch, but it was just me and Vic, and I guess I was shaking like I do. And see, that's how about.
You said it was, I said, why don't you see a doctor? And I think you told me that your doctor said it was caffeine. Oh, I'm just too many cups of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, because we drank like 6 or 7 cups of coffee in the morning. I really thought it was when I first started shaking at Star 94 and everything.
So I'm going to have to fire you for lying.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Again.
Fire me from your friendship.
Again.
Fired from the friendship of Vikki.
But you know
well,
what?
I just didn't want anybody to know because I think people look at you differently and they treat you a little differently sometimes. And I didn't want any of that. I didn't want a pity party at all. I just want to go on
we'd
with
never
life.
do that.
No,
Would
I
we,
know.
Tom?
No, Steve. I know. You said cure childhood cancer. You do a lot of work with the Glavins and that whole foundation with your wife. And like you said, you saw how that people were treating the kids differently.
Yeah.
So I can understand how you. And by the way, am I talking too slow or fast for you? Just let me know.
You're fine. You're fine, Tom.
Okay. Just let me know.
You're fine, Tom.
Steve, we love you. And whatever. We're not going to treat you any differently.
Good. I don't want to be
And hopefully
treated.
you're going to get better.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. They're making some great strides. I'm going to start a Parkinson's podcast, too, weekly, and try to help some people with some doctors and things. I found out I'm glad it came out, really. I'm glad that you told Jennifer about it, Vic, because it's helped a lot. I found out a couple of friends of mine that have it, that have been hiding it for years, and I didn't even know that they had it. And there's an astronaut that has it, that went into space. I don't know his name. I got told about him yesterday. They're going to get me in touch with him, though, to interview him. But he wasn't a well-known astronaut. He just did a couple of spacewalks and went up to Mir.
Just a couple of spacewalks.
Yeah, a couple of spacewalks, went up to Mir, the space station, worked on the space station. But then NASA didn't know he had it either until the very end. When he came back home, he told them. So I guess people are fearful of telling people. I don't know why, but I guess we do. But
you can, you have a great gift and talent, of being in broadcasting. And so you can now share all that with the ability to do a podcast and empower other people who have Parkinson's. It's a good thing, Steve.
I think so too. Well, thank you. And I apologize again for the Donald Trump thing to everybody that was listening that day or listened to me or put faith in me for the truthfulness of broadcasting. I didn't mean to dissuade anybody away from the truth at all. So hopefully.
Yeah, that's just what Brian Williams said.
Yeah, I know. Well, he went on for years and years. At least
he said he's been in your shoes many times.
Yeah, he has.
Brian Williams been in my
shoes. On a bigger scale, though.
Yeah, good for him.
For multi-millions of dollars.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
Well,
he's
Steve
working
makes
again,
hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars, yeah. Well, let's get to some fun stuff, don't we?
Should we get back to Trump since we brought it up?
Yeah.
And the latest.
I love what he said about Jeb Bush the other day. He goes, right now he's with mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was classic.
Just jumped in on that and said that Supergirl looks very hot to him. But then Donald Trump said this today on the Today Show.
And, I talk about it. It's not been easy for me. It has not been easy for me. And, I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan, and I had to pay him back, and I had to pay him back with interest. But I came into Manhattan, I started buying up properties, and I did great. And then I built the Grand Hyatt, and I got involved with the convention. So I did a good job. But I was always told that would never work. Even my father, he said, you don't want to go to Manhattan. That's not our territory. Because he was from Brooklyn and Queens, where we did, smaller things. And he said, don't go to Manhattan. That's not our territory. But he was very proud of me. But all my life, I was told no. Even for this. I mean, they said, oh, what do you want to do it for? Don't do it. Don't do it. You're against professional politicians. So far, I'm not impressed. I will tell you that.
By the way, let's just put this in perspective. You said it hasn't been easy for you, but my dad gave me $1 million loan. That probably is going to seem pretty easy to a lot of people.
But $1 million isn't very much compared to what I built.
Well.
And his dad probably had millions and millions of dollars, so he can give his son $1 million. He's like giving us 100,
I ain't shedding any tears for that guy.
No, but
please.
I'm excited. I mean, I love this reality show we're watching between.
It's true.
Between him and Hillary, I think it's going to be maybe him and Hillary Clinton, and then people are going to get in the voting booth and go, "I can't go with the Donald. I'm going to vote for Hillary."
Or maybe they'll just go into the voting booth and say, what have we done?
Yeah. What is the world's about to end. The aliens should attack any moment.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hillary was good on Saturday Night Live, though, playing Val the bartender.
She was.
That was very funny.
She was very good on the Benghazi thing, too.
She was good. 11 hours.
Herself. Yeah. Well, Vic, I know you got to be very excited about the Adele album.
Oh, I can't believe it. It's been so long. I love her so much. I've been streaming the song Hello like every day.
Yeah.
I listen a couple times a day. I love it.
Good song. 3 years it took her to come out with. Almost 4 years, I guess. With
I kept hearing it. Like I was watching a clip from the X Factor over in the UK. They showed like a preview of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just kept thinking of her beautiful voice and, that I don't want her to strain it again, and have potentially lose it.
No, I bought tickets for her to come perform at the Fox, 3 years ago? And I'm still waiting.
Oh,
what happened? She canceled?
She canceled because she had throat issues.
She never came back?
No, she never came back. But now the album's coming out November 20th. So excited. And she's performing. Oh, I can't. What's the date? In November, Matthew McConaughey is the host, and she's going to be the musical guest.
All right.
So pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know who she's talking to on that album, Hello, in that song?
No.
I do not.
No.
Oh, you don't know who she called?
No.
Oh, listen. Yeah, there's the phone.
Hello.
Stop.
Hello.
It's me.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
Can you hear
Hello.
I am sorry. Your call could not be completed. Please check your dialing procedure and try again.
Lionel Richie, who knew? Who knew she was talking to Lionel all this time?
Steve.
That's pretty funny.
See, Steve, aren't you glad you were fired?
Adele's
You
calling
have more
and she wants your head.
Oh, she said, where'd you get that copy of that?
I did not call Lionel Richie.
Yeah, another lie. Yeah.
Oh, Steve, you're so good at editing things to make them sound believable.
You're going to love this, Tom. How about the president singing Thriller? Put this together.
I love you back. It's close to midnight, and something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moon, light. You see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream. But terror takes a sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. Because this is Thriller night. And no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's Thriller. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight.
Hi, this is Richard Simmons, hoping you have a happy Halloween, but don't eat too much candy.
Talking about all these supplies for Halloween. Remember when I called the Sam's store here in Atlanta looking for stuff to pull pranks on people? And the woman that I got on the phone for the phone scam, she knew that I had to be her friend, Jimbo.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Sam's Club. How may I help you?
Yeah, hey, how you doing today?
All right.
Good. Do you got the call and pull ahead service there at that Sam's?
Hold on.
Okay.
This is Karen.
Yeah, hey, I was calling. I'm getting ready for Halloween.
Yes.
And I wanted to, call ahead and have some stuff ready for pickup.
Okay.
All right, I need, I want to get 7,000 eggs.
Yes.
32 of these for sale by owner signs. Do you have those for yards?
No, we do not. All
right. You got toilet paper?
Yes.
Okay, I need 15 cases of toilet paper.
Okay. Who is this?
You got soap? For Winders?
Yes.
All right, I need 16 cases of soap, 4 cases of Crisco. Wait a minute, that's...
Jimbo.
What?
Jim.
Crisco.
Jim.
Not... What?
You're funny.
No, this isn't Jim.
Jimbo.
Huh, Jimbo?
Did you key in that number?
Hey.
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 Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, hold on one second.
Hey, okay. Hey.
Hold on.
Hey.
Been a great day, Sam. I can help you.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
All righty.
Oh, good. Hey, listen, I was talking to a girl earlier, and I need some stuff for Halloween.
Uh-huh.
And I need some brown paper bags. Need them pre-filled, if you know what I mean.
Pre-filled?
Yeah.
The bag?
Yeah. Because I'm going to put them on people's doorsteps and light them on fire and then ring the doorbell. You know what I mean? You guys are full-service Sam's, aren't you?
No, who am I speaking with?
I need about 1,600 of those brown paper bags filled with poop.
Karen.
Yeah, hey.
Yes.
Hey, I was talking to you. Remember I told you 4 cases of Crisco?
Yes.
We better make that 8.
Jim.
That's for the Twister party we're having after.
Okay, Jim.
So, okay.
Yes.
You got me. I thought I could.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're like, what?
What y'all doing?
I don't know. What you up to?
Working.
Okay.
Trying to get out.
Hey, do you do, I need molasses balloons, too.
We don't have those.
You want to come to the Twister party?
Sure.
All right.
What time?
All right.
What time?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
Are you off then?
Should be.
All right. All right.
What are you doing?
I'm just messing with you.
I know. What are you doing?
I'll be in later.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay. Bye.
Steve and Vikki are gonna make it a great day.
Remember the days of the radio station we sponsored all those spook houses, and they would the guys at the spook house would come through with chainsaws, but they took the blade off, so it really would make the chainsaw sound, and we really thought it was like, going to get us.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And my mom one time dressed as a witch and got a big iron pot, and we got dry ice and put in there, but we didn't know, we were kids. She forgot to add water, so it never smoked. She's just like a pick on ice. I'll get you.
What's wrong with this?
Yeah.
Well, one of the most fun times I think we've had on the morning show was the day we called Al Lewis, Grandpa Al from the Munsters, and Eddie Munster, Butch Patrick, remember? Grandpa Al was 88 years of age and had just gotten married to a 40-year-old woman, so we got Butch to call him up for us. Now, Grandpa Al was just as sharp at 88 years of age when I was a little bit of a smartass here during the interview at the end. How's it going, Butch?
Going very well, Steve. Thanks for asking. You know, Halloween's always a sort of a busy time of year for us Munsters. We never outgrow it.
Is Grandpa scarier with or without the makeup?
You know, I can't tell with or without. He looks the same. You know, they didn't really have to use a whole lot of makeup on Al Lewis.
Grandpa Munster, wow. And you know what? He just got married, I heard the other day.
Oh, he can finally tie the knot with Karen. That's good.
Isn't she like a young chick or something?
Well, you know, he's in his 80s and she's like in her late 40s, so I guess that would be considered a 30-year gap in age. That's pretty young.
Well, we just happen to have his phone number.
Oh, do you? Hello. Al. Yes. This is Butch. How are you? Yeah.
Now, we heard that you just recently got married to a younger woman. How old are you, Al?
Going to be 85.
85? Congratulations. And how old is the wife?
I've never asked her.
How's the sex, Al?
Steve!
I'm sorry.
I want to know at 85 what I can look forward to.
You at 85, what you can look forward to is just about what you're getting now, nothing.
You know his wife. I didn't know you had met.
You've never heard her complaint? You've never seen her letter in Dear Abby? When did it get bad?
I don't know.
Well, since we're talking of sex, Butch, you want to talk about your sex life?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Mine's fine.
Now that we have that out of the way.
Did it ever involve Al?
Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum.
Wow, we're moving now. Ann Rice joins us on the Steve and Vikki podcast right now. Her newest book is Prince Lestat. It's Halloween. We thought she'd be the perfect guest for us here. Hi, Ann.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. My name is Steve.
Hi, I'm Vikki.
And I'm Tom Sullivan. Hi, Ann.
Well, I'm glad to talk to you guys.
Actually, you and I go way back. I interviewed you. I found an old interview the other day. I've been in radio since the dinosaur days, and I interviewed you when you did Interview with a Vampire back in like 75 or 76.
Wow.
So
38 years ago.
Well, I wasn't going to figure that math out, but thank you. Now,
and how have times changed? I remember I loved all your books, and I would go on a plane, and I'd have the book, and you could instantly make friends. Where are you at in the book? Where are you? Oh, I'm here. Oh, isn't it? And today, everybody's got Kindle, so you don't know what anybody's reading anymore.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Kindle has taken away that wonderful pleasure of having people tap you on the shoulder because of the book jacket in your hand.
Exactly.
Do you like that new technology, or are you kind of against that?
Oh, no, I kind of love it. I tell you truthfully, I have not gotten with my Kindle. I've got a big hardcover book to read on the plane, and it's a Jack Reacher novel by Lee Child, and it weighs a ton, you know. But I will get with Kindle sooner or later. I'll break down and figure it out.
Well, the newest book is Prince Lestat, Finally the Truth About the Royal Family. Thank you so much. Wow. Finally, somebody comes forward and tells us. I mean, that queen, she's got to be a vampire, right?
Right.
Right, Ann? 114 years of age.
And is it going to be a movie already? Probably. Have they talked to you about it?
Oh, yeah. Universal Studios is very interested, and they want to redo the whole franchise, as they call it. You know, the Vampire Chronicles, bring everybody back, bring all the main players back. And my son Christopher Rice is doing the first script, and I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
So will Brad Pitt
I want these to be faithful to the books, and here's my son, you know, bringing his talent to bear on it. And so it's cool. It's really good.
So does this mean Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and Anna Paquin will all be back?
I don't think so. You know, that's 20 years ago that they made the film, 20 years. And I think if Brad and Tom had ever wanted to do these roles again, we would have heard from them. You know, they're big guys, real big guys. And they would have called us if they wanted to reprise the roles.
Well, you know,
I suspect it'll be somebody new. Somebody like Chris Hemsworth or Anson Mount or Stephen Amell or who knows. I mean, there's so many fine actors today who can play fantasy roles thanks to Game of Thrones and Harry Potter and, you know, all the different series. The the Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. There's a lot of talent around, I think.
Well, Ann, I'm just glad you're not going to sell out and go with like the normal Hollywood deal of Matthew McConaughey, the vampire that takes his shirt off and runs around the countryside.
In his Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I tell you the truth, you never know what's going to happen with the movies. There's a lot of people have a place at the table, and the author can scream and cry and, so forth. But eventually, movies are a collaborative effort. So I hope and pray. I mean, Interview with the Vampire turned out, I thought, wonderfully faithful to the books, and I hope it'll happen again.
And do you think there will ever be a day that we just stop going to the movies because attendance is kind of down? What can filmmakers do to retain those audiences and keep them coming into the theater?
That's a good question because I don't go myself. I have such a comfortable setup at home with a 90-inch screen and a comfortable chair and peace and quiet that I just don't go to the theater. And I love to go, but I don't. I would say more small theaters with really comfortable seats and better refreshment and rules about people not talking.
And did you say a 9-inch screen?
90.
90.
Oh, 90. I was going to say, you've made a few bucks. You can buy a bigger television set. My goodness.
No.
90.
I have a huge screen on the wall.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Well, tell us what brought you back to the vampire, the whole chronicles, the Prince Lestat. Is where are we going to start? I don't have the book yet. I can't wait to get it, and I will get it on my Kindle. I'm sorry. I'm just a Kindle girl. But tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I missed Lestat. I missed him. It had been 12 years since I wrote about him, and I missed him, and I wanted to bring him back. I wanted to write a book bringing everybody, all my readers, up to date on what the whole tribe was doing in the modern age. So this is kind of a sequel to all the novels I wrote before, and it picks up the tribe wrestling with things like internet radio and iPhone and satellite surveillance and the need for passports everywhere you go and things they didn't face 200 years ago or 100 years ago. And they need a leader. They want a leader. And they're looking to Lestat to be that leader. And that's what it's really about. It's kind of a big book in terms of scope. Lots of characters, old characters, new characters, ancient immortals that nobody knew existed. It was a lot of fun to get back into that world and to report from it, believing in it completely.
Are you a big fan of Halloween?
Oh, yeah. I think Halloween's getting bigger in this country every year. I think people really love Halloween now more than they ever did.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I love it. I'm going to the Vampire Ball in New Orleans. Where Lestat's fan club have their ball every year. They've been doing it for 26 years, and I'm going to be down there for it, and very much looking forward to Halloween in the French Quarter.
Hey, I want to tell you a quick story. My sister lives in San Francisco, and a long time ago, she used to work at a video store called Captain Video. And you and your husband and your son Chris would come in and rent videos. And one day, your son came in very young and wanted to rent an R-rated movie. And she goes, Chris, I'm sorry, I can't give this to you. You're underage. And so you actually called back to the video store and said, it's okay, my son can watch any R-rated movie he wants.
Yep, that happened, and I remember Captain Video, and my son always could, and I didn't believe in censorship, and he's grown up to be okay.
Yeah, they always do, don't they?
What did you think of the Twilight series? Were you just appalled? I mean, because really, I think Anne Rice is responsible for the whole vampire craze. You started it all.
Well, I tell you, I've enjoyed the Twilight movies. I really have.
Good. Okay.
It's certainly not what I would have ever done with vampires. I would not want to spend eternity in high school in Fort Washington.
Me neither.
It's not something I would do. If I got the dark blood, I would head out to Paris right away, or London, or New York, or Barcelona, or Rome. But I think Stephanie Myers is very clever, and I think she's a good writer, and I think she's made vampires help to make them mainstream, and she deserves a lot of credit for that. And I think her movies are just incredible. You can't argue with that kind of popularity. She obviously made her audience extremely happy, and I like to believe that they're going on and they're buying other vampire writers. There's room for everybody's interpretation, really.
Anne, you're obviously a very smart individual. Have you ever had your IQ tested? Do you know what your IQ is?
I remember in high school that it was pretty low.
Really?
I wasn't one of the brains. I wasn't one of the brilliant ones,
Hmm.
you know. The little brainy kids, they had it all over me. But I really don't have any idea.
Is there anything that you can't do that's a kind of a simple task? Can you, like, parallel park your car?
Oh, I can't drive.
Oh, you
I
can't
don't have a
drive?
driver's license.
Oh, you
I
don't?
never did learn how. Actually, I did learn how, and I did get a driver's license. I never used it, and I don't have it now.
Really?
But I have a wonderful, wonderful assistant, Beckett, who drives me everywhere I go, and he's terrific.
That's
He's the one that
nice.
fixes the computer when it goes down, too.
Wow. Maybe you're not so smart as I thought. Okay.
Oh, God, I'm handicapped. Got a deficit.
And it's great following you on Instagram and Twitter with all your posts.
Oh, I have a lot of fun. I love Facebook, and I post every day. I've already posted a couple of times this morning.
Now, see, so
Oh,
she
yeah.
doesn't drive, but you'll do the social media thing. Okay.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Well, you'll have plenty of time in the back seat of the car, right, when the guy's driving you around to do all that.
Yes, ideally.
Yeah.
Ideally, yes.
Well, we hope you'll post about talking to us here in Atlanta with the Steve and Vikki podcast. So we appreciate it very
certainly
much.
enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, Ann. Very nice talking with you. Happy Halloween.
Yes, and Merry Christmas.
Happy Halloween, guys. Thank
Bye.
you. It's been a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye, Ann.
Bye-bye.
She was really nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And how about that? She remembered Captain Video, where my sister was.
And she remembers saying he can watch anything he wants.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
How old was he? Like
I don't know,
10?
really young. And so they said they made my sister made a note in her card file, because that was back then, no computer. And they wrote down there, Chris Rice can rent R-rated movies.
Wow.
All right, some fun right now. Remember, Tom, when we sent you trick-or-treating to Jesse Tuggle's house?
Hey, Steve and Vikki.
Hey, Tommy.
Listen, I'm at my one of my favorite sports celebs' house, Jesse Tuggle from the Falcons. And I'm in Country Club of the South. Beautiful place. I said, well, anyway, I'm nervous because he's a big guy.
You're at Jesse Tuggle's house?
Yeah, and I've got a gift basket from Harry's Farmer's Market and a couple of magnets and a keychain. And
Well, go for it.
okay.
What's his house look like?
Beautiful brick home, about 2 stories, and he's got these big Corinthian columns in front. They're towering high above me like a big linebacker.
Yes.
All right.
Be careful now. I hope.
Some kids roaming around. I want to ring the bell.
Okay. Jesse Tuggle's house. What is Jesse Tuggle giving away for trick or treat?
Oh, I hope it's good. He's got some rotten pumpkins out here.
Be sure to point that out.
I will. Here he comes. Here he comes. Jesse? Hey, trick or treat. Hey, I'm someone from Star 94. Who let you in here? Steve, Morning Show. Security guard did. I just gave him a magnet and I was in like that.
I tell you what, they let anybody here on Halloween.
Jesse?
Steve and Vikki.
Steve, how are you?
Hey, fine. How are you?
Doing good.
Jesse, what are you passing out for trick or treat?
I'm only passing out tarantula cards. And hammer hits if you want one.
Well, I see you got some kids here.
Oh, yeah.
What are your kids' names?
Justin and Jessica.
Hi, Justin, Jessica. I'm Count Dracula. I have on big feet.
Now, don't scare the people.
You like my big toenails? Yeah, what's your name, Justin? Say hi to Steve and Vikki.
Hi. Hi.
Happy Halloween, Justin.
Oh, listen, I know you're a big guy, so I brought you a huge gift basket from Harry's Farmer's Market.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
I hope you don't mind. I had a couple of muffins out of there already.
I'll let you get away with it.
And can I get tickets to the next game?
No way. It's not Christmas. It's only Halloween.
Okay.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
disappointed they lost this Sunday, so you better get out of here, man.
Go ahead and tackle him like you did one of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, his wife's calling security right now.
Here are some Halloween safety tips, a mandatory public service from your friends at the Safe Society and this radio station. When bobbing for apples, try not to think about the pesticides coming off the apples and floating into your ears. It may cause you to panic and drown. Ringing doorbells can be fun, but not when older kids talk you into taking the cover off and ringing it with your tongue. When you electrocute your face, candy can take on a tart aluminum taste. Be careful when walking behind witches. Many have switched from brooms to the Swiffer Wet Jet, and you could easily slip on the soapy discharge. Please avoid trick-or-treating at crack houses if at all possible. While scary, the treats they're giving are not sweet tarts. Those are your Halloween safety tips. With Steve and Vikki.
You know, the funny thing about that Jesse Tuggle bit is that you heard his little boy Justin, who must have been about 7 or 8 back then. Today, that kid is in the NFL playing for the Texans.
Wow.
Okay, well, since it's Halloween, if I asked you guys who's the most famous witch you can think of, who would you say?
The Wicked Witch of the North.
The Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes, the West, because the Glinda was from the North.
Yeah.
My neighbor would say Michelle Nunn, but that's just my neighbor.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Very good, Tom. I was so glad one of you said that because I've got an interview back from my days early on, like way back when in the 70s that I found. And I thought when I listened to this, because I'm mastering them all now, this goes back to 75. I talked to Margaret Hamilton. Do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
It's about her playing the Wicked Witch of the West. And
yeah.
Wait till you hear how much money she made for this role. It's pretty interesting stuff, I thought. And I thought since it's Halloween, we'd do it. So Margaret Hamilton, 1975, WRD in Spartanburg.
Let's talk about the Wizard of Oz, if we can.
All right, that's going back.
How are you cast for the Wicked Witch of the
I have
West?
the slightest idea. I don't. I think as I said, lots of people must have been interviewed and pulled in. I've always thought maybe my nose may have had something to do with it, but they didn't seem to think it was big enough and made it more so. But I have no really idea.
What was Judy Garland like as a young girl?
She was an absolute darling, as far as I'm concerned. She was a darling, and I think as far as everybody else in the picture was concerned, she came in early. You know, we all came in awfully early, but she was always bright and fresh and excited, and she was like any 16-year-old of that day, not of this day. We don't have 16-year-olds like Judy anymore, I don't think. She really, really, I was the prime essence of innocence. That face, as you see it in the picture, with all that wide-eyed wonder, came from way deep within Judy, I think. And I think she's one of the finest actresses we ever had. Great shame that we never gave her an award. Very outstanding, really, one that, despite all the difficulties she went through and the ups and downs of her life, she has a tremendous place in everybody's heart.
Could I ask you how much you got paid for that role?
Yes, I got $1,000 a week. That's what I was getting in those days, and that's what I kept it at. That is no great shakes. It sounds a lot, but it's not a big salary at all, especially in those days.
How many weeks did it take to...
It took 23 for me, and 26, I think, for the others.
I see.
I wasn't, in the very last scene. And as I remember, I may be wrong, but it seems to me that we did the beginning and the ending together. Rather at the end of the picture.
Ever since I've been a youngster watching The Wizard of Oz, I have wondered how you melted.
Well, it was very, very well done. You stood on a little piece of flooring that was like an elevator, and it went down and up. You went slowly or fast as they wished it to be. But the trick was it stood on the platform, and then all the way around on the outside of the platform, they pinned the dress down, and I went down very, very slowly, screaming and yelling, carrying on. And when the hat rested on the dress, they stopped the camera. I slipped out of the dress and arranged it on the little platform with help, I'm sure, from somebody. I don't remember exactly what the situation under the flooring was, but then they raised the platform up under the hat and then stopped the camera. Of course, well, didn't have to, the camera wasn't going at that time. Anyway, took all the nails out, I think, and then they put the hat, or put dry ice on around on the dress and hat, and poured some water on it, which made it go, fuzz and steam the way dry ice. And then they start the camera, and Toto goes over and sniffs, and I'm gone.
You have been an absolute delight to talk with.
Thank you. I've been very glad to talk to you. Thank you for asking.
You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You have a good day. I'm a radio DJ.
Super cool.
I know. Oh, I hate that.
Oh, Steve, isn't it great, though? You still have tapes like that, which is awesome.
I found a bunch of tapes. I talked to people that I've forgotten. Butch Cassidy's sister was alive, 93 or 94 years of age. I'm talking
Boy,
to her.
that's been on my bucket list.
I mean, seriously.
An interview with Butch Cassidy's sister.
Well, and then Lee Harvey Oswald's mother. Talked to her, yeah.
Do you still have the one you did with Lincoln?
I didn't do that one. Lincoln, thanks very much.
Hey, by the way,
yeah.
as a side note, she hurt herself filming that. And they wanted to do
I don't know why she didn't say that.
Because maybe it's a lie.
Well, no, it's true. I've heard it, that she got second-degree burns on her face, third-degree burns on her hand during a second take of the scene where she exits from Munchkin Land and the trapdoor, and they had, stop filming and then make it not so you couldn't see it. And then the fire got out of hand, and she burned, and she says she did not want to do any more scenes with fire from that point.
Wow.
You could tell that she had answered my questions a million times before, how quickly she was just running through the Judy Garland thing.
I thought she was very well caffeinated.
Yeah, maybe. But isn't that interesting, though, too, in 75...
$23,000 is all she made for that movie.
Yeah.
No residuals either, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said she was afraid to go up to 1,200 because she thought they'd X her from the film, you know?
Wow.
But the other interesting thing I thought is how she said Judy Garland was a nice 16-year-old, not like the 16-year-olds we have today, back in 1975. I mean, we could almost say that today, right? Mm-hmm. About 16-year-olds. I don't know. Well, maybe not. I think some 16-year-olds today are much nicer than they were in my generation.
I think what she was saying was she was very innocent and vulnerable, and that's probably what led to her demise, because back then she was, when you hear the stories that, oh, you're fat and this and that, and she's just this innocent young girl that has this tremendous voice.
From Kansas.
But yeah, that's pretty amazing. And it's not, is it on TV anymore?
Yes.
Not yearly like it used to be. It
Right.
always used to be played around Thanksgiving. Remember?
I think it is still on.
Is it? But at Thanksgiving
I didn't
time?
know that.
Yeah, and then they sandwich it with a follow-up of The Sound of Music. So they put both of them together. But no, seriously.
You must be in heaven then. That day.
I don't know which shoes to wear. Hello?
The green pointy ones that curl up when the house falls on her?
Or the red sparkly ones.
Right.
But you know, there are so many other things. Like, you know, we're looking for faults in films. Like, you can see someone in one of the big forest scenes.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's all these things that are out of whack. What should be, you know.
Why'd she put the dog in a basket that was easily escapable? I mean,
it's
Are you trying to ruin the film for millions of Americans?
I guess so. I guess I'm trying to.
We always, as kids, were so frightened, and even producers were frightened when they made the film because they thought maybe this is too scary for children, and we would run out of the room. I'd have to go sit with my daddy and my mama.
Yeah. Flying monkeys were pretty scary.
I do remember, though, sitting down watching with one of my nieces or nephews, and they were bored to tears. I guess which broke my heart, because when it's black and white and then it goes to color, and I just thought, isn't this just brilliant? And they weren't.
It's like when I sat down and I showed Lucy Pinocchio, the original Disney film. And she got bored with it. And it really was very long and drawn out.
Yeah.
Not like today's kind of movies where they...
When you wish upon us... I could just cry.
Jiminy Cricket.
I could just cry.
Jiminy Cricket.
But you know what? Kids, you're right. Kids right now, they want, like, flashing and moving. And, like, I gave the kid across the street something. He goes, what's it do? I said, use your imagination. He goes, I'm bored with that.
What was it that you gave him?
A doll. Like a G.I. Joe, you know.
Oh. And he didn't know. He didn't want to.
He goes, "Oh, come on! Where's the action? Where's the app?"
Yeah, I took my two sons outside one day when they were about 8 or 10, and said, "We're going to play this game called Running Bases, all right?" And I set up the two things and made one kid get it. And I said, "Now, Ryan, you got to run here before I can throw the ball to your brother near you. And if he tags you or I tag you with the ball, then you're out." And so they did it for about 20 seconds. Proclaimed that this is the stupidest thing ever. They couldn't believe that I ever played this as a kid for hours, and that it was just stupid.
Well, when we were young, the worst punishment would be go to your room.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing you could do for kids today. Go to your room. No, if you said you're going to go outside and you can't be on your computer all day. No!
Well, the kids, are babysat by their iPads now. Parents, and I know, like Rosie O'Donnell was saying on The View, that she just takes, there's no distractions during dinner. It's a family dinner. They have only a certain amount of time they can use their devices. Yeah.
I think that's very good.
Do you and your husband ever pull out your phones and just, when you're out at a restaurant or something, just surf the web or something? Check email?
It's usually has to do with business, but it's still horrible, and I do it. And we'll both say, okay, no phones. And then I'll say, but I need to hear from, and it's an excuse. But, yeah, I think that's terrible, and I'm guilty. And I've got a story, Tom. Do you know who Tyler Sullivan is? Is he any relation to you?
No.
Are you sure?
Impossible. Unless he's coming to some money.
Tyler Sullivan's 26. He's from Connecticut. And he stumbled into his mom's apartment and snuggled in her bed. Well, apparently it was the wrong apartment. The woman wasn't his mom, and he has been arrested. Two questions.
Yes.
I guess the biggest question, who snuggles with their mom when they're 26?
I know.
Steve, when you go back to Buffalo, are you snuggling with mom?
Yeah.
Are you spooning with Thelma?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, pass the cigarettes.
Yeah. You're blocking the TV, son. Get off of me.
Erase.
Yeah.
Boo. This is Susan Lucci, that witch Erica Kane from All My Children. Happy Halloween.
Hey, did y'all see SNL with Jim Carrey?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought a couple of the bits were pretty good. The one where he's doing the Matthew McConaughey takeoff.
Why do I drive Lincoln? Why does anybody do anything? We're just bugs on a rock in a void. See, I believe we were a mistake. Life, Earth. I believe it is each man's duty to correct the mistake that nature made. Extinguish mankind like the pathetic match that it is.
Dad, are you okay?
I'm super good, bud.
You're going 5 miles an hour.
Not bad for Lincoln. Whose kids are these?
Yeah. That's pretty good, I thought. Yeah.
Did he say it, or did someone else say? He goes, "Why am I going from winning an Oscar to doing car commercials?" Or was that your bit? They're all running together now. Yeah, so I heard that.
They did 2 or 3 of them on the show.
3 of them.
Yeah.
They were all good.
And I thought, exactly, here he is doing a car commercial from winning an Oscar.
Hey, how about, you remember when we used to have John Edward in our studio? He would come to town.
Yes.
And he's going to join us in weeks to come.
Is he in the room right now?
I don't think so.
He's in Australia, but when he gets back to the States, he's calling the show.
Oh, okay, great.
Fantastic.
Well, there was one day, I've got one call that he just nailed this person's name. I mean, I'd never heard anything like this. Here's John Edward from the past.
Who sees dead people.
Thank you.
This morning.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I lost my father at a very, very young age, and I always feel like there is a message that I've missed from him. Sometimes I can sense, I know he's always with me, but I just don't know if I'm really missing a message that he's meaning to tell me.
Well, Bernadette, let me just jump right in here and tell you 2 things. First of all, I think everybody misses that message, and they misinterpret the message that they're feeling. And I think that you are feeling your dad around you, and I love hearing people say that. And I think that one of the things that, if I could just translate for you what that message is I'm here, I'm around, I'm okay, I'm watching you, I love you, I'm a participant. But I think people egotistically, and in not a bad way, but the human ego gets involved and says, no, it's got to be more about something specific to me. And that's where sometimes a reading comes in, or that's where a visit from them will come in. Bernadette, are you Bernadette Marie?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I want you to know that your dad is definitely around you. Did you do something as a child where you clogged the drain? Like, did you, stick a Barbie doll down a drain and not tell anybody? Or did you, who clogged the drain, or they clogged the pipe in some way?
I don't know. I was only 9 when he died.
I think that's why he's referencing this. And if I say to you Joe or John or James, where's that?
Joe is my oldest brother.
Okay, and are you one of 4 kids?
Yes.
He's telling me that there's 4 that are linked.
4. I have 4 older brothers.
Okay, because I need to acknowledge that. And then aren't there twins, or there's a Gemini in here? Because Gemini is a sign of twins.
Yes, my youngest brother is a Gemini.
Okay, and there's somebody. I am so sorry to do this on the radio, and I have to say it. Did somebody recently, or there was an issue about somebody that questioned their sexuality, or that somebody was in a same-sex relationship?
Not that I'm aware of.
Your dad's bringing that up, so that's going to come up in conversation in the family, and he's making me feel like there's nothing wrong with that. They need to be supportive. They need to be open-minded, because there's going to be an issue about that, and he's making a big deal about this. So I don't know if this comes up with a grandchild, if this comes up with a friend of the family, and somebody comes to you, Bernadette, but I need to acknowledge that. Remember that I'm saying this, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks so much, Bernadette. Wow, John, I've never heard you nail someone's name before like that.
I've always got names and initials, but in the last year, it's like this coolest thing. I hope it doesn't go away. I will.
So that's it.
Wow.
John Edward.
That was pretty amazing. I thought that maybe we might have told him the name, but that was, as hey, you're going to be talking to Bernadette next. But no, pretty amazing.
No, well, we told him the name up front because we said Bernadette you're on with John Edward. But when he said, is your name Bernadette Marie? Mm-hmm. I mean, to get the middle name, where did he come up with that? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know.
Still, my favorite John Edward is the one with the shoe. Remember that?
No, tell me.
Where he was saying, I think it was a woman that wanted to connect with her father. And then he said something about, he says, your father is saying he's still laughing about you losing a shoe. And she said something about on her wedding day or something, she lost a shoe.
Oh, that's right.
And that blew my mind, and I was a believer ever since.
Oh, wow. Well, I remember one time he was in the studio with us, and our music director at the time, JR, came walking in, and JR's wife was pregnant, and they were about to have a baby. Their second one, I think.
First?
Oh, okay.
No, maybe it was the second.
I don't know.
No, it was the first because well, go ahead. You can tell the story.
His mom had just recently died, and he had been thinking of naming the child, if it's a girl, after his mom. But nobody knew that. We didn't know that until after. And John Edward just looks at him and says, hey, your wife is pregnant, isn't she? And he said, yeah. And he said, you're thinking of naming the baby after your mother, aren't you?
I think he even said Catherine, whatever his mom's name was, and he fell to his knees.
He burst into tears.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we said, what's the matter, JR? And he said, that's true. We were talking about that.
Wow, that's a great
And then
moment.
John Edwards said, but you're going to have a boy. And so you can't. And he did. It was Jackson.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't it crazy?
You're right.
Crazy stuff.
Wow. My sister got to talk to him. Remember, we had my sister was on the air, got to communicate or talk about my mom who had passed. So that was a great moment for me.
All right.
It was one big treat.
Somebody's on the phone here.
Okay.
Let's see who
I think
it is.
Liam Neeson's on the phone. I don't know.
Hello there. This is Liam Neeson calling. I've got a particular set of skills. I'll hunt you down like the dog that you are.
Oh.
When I find you, and I'll lay you down on the ground, slap you silly until you say Trump. Trump for president. Say it. Trump for president.
Trump for president.
Trump for president. Trump for president.
Trump for president.
Trump.
Okay, well, that's good.
That was great.
That was
wrong
horrible.
number. Wrong number, Steve. What the
Wrong number.
From Larry David to that piece of crap.
Steve, did you do that when you were at the radio station signing your firing papers?
A particular set of skills.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that voice before.
That's his
particular
the 007 guy.
Sean Connery.
That's your Sean Connery.
Well, yeah, Sean Connery and Liam Neeson are pretty
they're
close.
twins.
They're pretty close.
The same.
A particular set of skills.
That's why you're not getting any action upstairs with the wife. Hey, honey, I got a particular set of skills.
She says, no, you don't. No, you don't. Those skills have left you years ago. Well, guess what? We are not a politically correct nation anymore, according to...
Oh, yes, we are, I think. No?
Well, it says the oversensitive culture is now snake eating its own tail. According to...
Enough about Kathy Griffin's career.
According to the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee, okay, it's no longer politically correct to use the term politically correct, they say. Why? They say it's, quote, has become a way to deflect and say that people are being too sensitive and police the language. They didn't...
So what are you supposed to say instead of politically correct?
I don't know. They also say the word lame should be eliminated because it's, quote, reduces the experiences of individuals living with physical disabilities to a punchline. Okay.
That's lame.
Lame, yeah.
Next.
Other words that they don't like include third world, crazy, and man up, because it's sexist. Man up is sexist.
And who's saying all this?
The University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not that this is a left turn, but Man Up was a great movie. I told you about that. Man Up. Do you remember that?
And who was in that?
It was about the British couple. Remember she had to man up and confess that she was with the on the wrong date?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Did you ever watch it?
No, I
yet?
never saw it, but I remember you said it was good.
And speaking of movies, Steve, I know you must be sleeping at night or barely sleeping with an eternal erection because of Star Wars is coming.
Yes, I am.
That is going to break every box office.
Oh,
Don't
it
you
is.
think?
It is.
It's just going to be unbelievable.
It is.
It'll make $1 billion in the first 6 months.
They've already pre-sold tickets.
I know. I tried to go online to buy some, and I can't get in at all.
On Fandango.
Yeah.
You did? You tried to buy tickets already?
Mm-hmm, for the first day, for the first showing, and they're all sold out for the first 5 of them. First whole day
all
sold
over the
out.
country?
Well, here in the theaters. I'm not going to go to Cleveland to see it, Vic. Don't want to see it that badly. Don't want to see it that badly.
Okay.
I did.
I'm going to be in Huntsville that weekend.
Have y'all seen Martian? Speaking of outer space. Okay, what'd you think of it?
Well, I read the book, so I'm always leery because I never see a movie that is as good as the book. And this one kind of did it. I was really surprised. I loved it.
I did too. I didn't think I was going to like it. Now, I did watch it kind of illegally. I watched it online. I just happened to be Googling Martian and goes, watch movie.
Happened to be.
Oh, wow. But here's the deal. Someone filmed it with like their phone or their camera. So you see people walking in front of the camera, sitting down, getting popcorn.
Yeah.
You know, but every now and then you could see the screen. It was
Tom, how did you get that on your computer?
Steve, your son showed me.
Did he? Yeah. Showed you how to do those illegal downloads?
It's an illegal download.
Good. Yeah. Martian. That's the movie I fell asleep in and I spilled my popcorn all over. I think I told you the story and the woman nudged me next.
That's right.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Were you?
But not because you were bored, because you were tired.
No, I was tired, yeah, and I fell asleep and the popcorn fell all over.
Oh, really? Were you at Phipps where you can lay down?
No, I was not at Phipps where I could lay down. No, I was sitting upright. You can fall asleep anywhere.
So are you going to go back and see it?
No, I don't think so. I think I only missed like 10 minutes of it, according to my wife.
Do you know how it ends?
Yeah, I saw the ending. I fell asleep in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the middle part.
Gotcha.
Where he was planting everything.
I saw, did you see Bridge of Spies?
No.
With Tom
is that
Hanks?
good?
I loved it.
Okay. I haven't seen that yet.
Have you seen the Apple movie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. What did you think of that?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Jobs?
It
Did you
paints
like
him as a pretty despicable kind of guy.
Yeah, I read his book. The book about him was pretty.
But you can so tell it's Aaron Sorkin doing the writing.
Yeah.
Well, his wife didn't want him even making the movie. Didn't she want like stars to boycott the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio was apparently going to be playing him originally, and she talked to him and got him to boycott doing it. And who else? Johnny Depp, I think, was one of the people that was being considered for it. I don't think he could have played
Steve Jobs.
I don't think he could have played Steve Jobs as well as the guy that's doing it. But I heard it was too wordy. But that's Aaron Sorkin.
I liked it. It stops though before you get to his successes. It's basically about his failures.
Oh, really?
Yes, and about his relationship with his daughter.
The movie ends before he gets back to Apple the second time.
Well, he's just getting back.
Oh.
But, I mean, do you want me to spoil it for you? I mean, the iPod hasn't been
there
created
might be people
yet,
out there who haven't
so
seen
that's
it.
the time frame.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I thought it was very good.
Do you still have an iPod?
I do.
Yeah.
I still do.
Or like the Shuffle. Remember the little iPod Shuffle where it was slender and you
do you remember when that came out and I thought that was the cat's ass? Yeah. I loved it so much.
What, the Shuffle?
No,
or the iPod?
The iPod.
Yeah.
It was just an incredible invention.
I remember I got an iPod right when they first came out. Apple came to the radio station. It was at the holidays, and y'all were on vacation, and they asked me, did I want to endorse it, to talk about the iPod. So I had to go to like an iPod school online, learn about it, and then they gave me one. It was selling for like $300. I sold it.
Shocker.
I did.
Did you see the new Matthew McConaughey Lincoln car ads during all the playoffs?
No,
games?
I missed it.
And the baseball playoffs.
Are they real?
Oh yeah, they're real. They're real. Here it is.
It's not about hugging trees.
It's not coming down the line.
But it's not about hugging. Just gotta find that balance.
Oh no, the kids can't hear right now.
That place where the hugging stops and the humping starts. Otherwise, you're just going to embarrass yourself at the next family reunion.
This is.
Them either. Just got to find that balance. That place where the hugging stops and the humping starts. Otherwise, you're just going to embarrass yourself at the next family reunion. Hey, how cool would it be to have a rodeo with dinosaurs? I mean, you ride one of them things for 8 seconds, you could end up 50 miles away. If I didn't stop for that bull in the middle of the road, that commercial would only be in about 5 seconds long. Can't really sell a car in 5 seconds. About the only thing you can do in 5 seconds is flick a rolled up booger off your middle finger. I done that.
That's funny.
If I don't find a gas station pretty soon, I do believe I might poop myself.
I might what myself?
Poop myself.
Hey, If you do end up 50 miles away at the dinosaur rodeo, call me. I'll pick you up in my Lincoln.
That was, who was that?
Matthew McConaughey.
No, it wasn't.
Steve, no, who was that?
That was
really?
Steve.
But he did it. Was that really
you?
Steve?
No, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't me.
But that was good. I
Sounded
like
like
the music.
Sean
Was very
Connery.
believable. Yeah.
Sean Connery, particular set of skills.
That's right. I got a set of skills in my Lincoln.
Oh, me. All right.
Hey, some discouraging news came out. I don't know if you all heard this, but Steve, your three favorite food groups, bacon, hot dogs, and processed meats, are all carcinogenics.
I know.
And they say we have to really cut back because they said if, but not, it's not totally the worst thing ever, but if you had like a hot dog a day, you increase your risk of colon cancer from 5% to 6%. So, but there is a definite increase.
But who has a hot dog every day?
I don't know, but you know.
And I heard it's okay if you bake or broil,
Yes.
then it's better for you.
Right, you don't want to get
For
like
the
the
bacon?
charcoal burnt from the
Yes.
which produces carcinogens.
Correct. Yes, you can put bacon in the oven.
Yeah, have you ever done
Yeah.
this, Steve?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's my favorite. Or you get the Baconator, which is like this thing that goes on the grill and it drips down, the fat drips down. And just stays crispy. You ever seen that? I saw
No.
it at the store the other day.
A Baconator?
It's a grill thing, and it's like a little arm thing, and it sits the bacon on it like this, and then
Like this?
Yeah, like that. And then on either side, the bacon drips down on either side, and then goes into a little pan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
And you
cool.
put this on the grill.
Yeah, but you know,
Nope, missed that.
microwaving is actually good for bacon too. It keeps it really crisp.
But don't you have to buy special bacon for
No, you can use
Yeah.
any bacon in a microwave.
Yeah, true.
cooking
bacon.
tips from Tom
But I don't have a
Sullivan.
microwave, so I'm just saying I got rid of it years ago because it's a little too Star Wars for me.
A little too Star Wars.
How's it
Hard to figure
How's
out.
it cooking the food is what I want to know.
Hard to figure out.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's what it's doing to my food.
He
It's-
thinks it's radiation and
Yes.
it's going through his house and killing him.
That's why the dental hygienist always leaves the room when she presses the button. I'm just going to step down the hall.
Yeah, they put that lead thing on your chest and everything.
I said, is there something to be concerned about? Oh, no, everything's fine.
Yeah. They're growing another ear. Yeah. Yeah. Well, bacon or hot dogs have always been tied to leukemia, too.
Oh, really?
From what I've known.
And they said something about a certain percentage of hot dogs they've found human DNA. I'm never eating a hot dog.
What?
Again. You should only eat kosher hot dogs.
I was going to say, like Hebrew nationals.
Yes.
Golly.
They only have Hebrew DNA in them, right?
That's right.
Ugh.
I don't know. I mean, you're going to get a dog at the game if you go to the game, right?
No.
No, that's
Really
the
won't?
worst. I
I'm
wouldn't
going to
get
go up
those
to
hot dogs.
Rathbun's, get me a steak sandwich.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
What else? What other foods are y'all not eating because of all? It's not good for you, but everything's okay in moderation, don't you think?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Like I came over here today,
Yeah.
and Steve has got his hand in a 1-gallon container of Costco animal crackers, and then he's got a whole container of the little those little things you give out at Halloween, those little candy corn.
Candy corn?
Steve.
Those are my wife. She loves the candy corn. I don't care for the candy corn, but the animal crackers are just plain cookies.
But we have to get you on a better diet.
Oh, I know.
You know.
I get for the trick-or-treaters stuff that I hate, like nerds or anything that I know I'm never going to eat. That's what I buy a ton of.
Oh, really?
And then I'll just make sure I give it all away.
But how much do you
Sour
spend?
Patch Kids,
What do you
don't like
spend
that.
on candy? Like I could spend $50. I could spend $50. We get so many kids.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Have that
we
many
get
kids?
400 kids. I'm not kidding. 300
Oh,
to
they
400
bust 'em
children.
in?
They do.
They do? They
close
bust
the
'em
street
in?
down. They bring them in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That many?
Yeah. So
Wow.
when I run out, I put a sign up. Go candy across street because my rich friends live across the street. And they just
You
buy
don't give away
too
candy.
many
You give
bucks.
away movie things, right?
I do give away movie props like tattoo. Last year I gave away Frozen memorabilia, which was really cool.
Frozen?
Yeah,
Like
from the
what?
movie. Like I gave away
An ice cube,
Yeah.
tray of ice. He gives.
A tray of
Kids,
ice.
run home. It'll melt quickly.
I gave them Frozen activity books, little coloring things for the kids.
And was it a big hit, or did you get toilet paper?
Well, no. All but 2 kids didn't like the stuff, and but they said I don't want this, but the other kids loved it.
That's good.
Didn't you hate the guys that always gave you a couple of pennies? The old folks that would give you pennies when you were a
Pennies.
kid. I don't think they do that anymore. But
Or
I
they
remember
put
getting-
peanuts and they'd wrap them in newspaper. Did you ever get that?
Oh yeah.
Or how about the doggy poop that's on fire on your front steps. You ever get that?
No.
And you go out.
That's only because you hand out the movie things.
You go out and stomp on it. And it was, that kind of thing.
No.
Did you ever get toilet papered?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Senior prank day, they toilet papered our house.
Mm-hmm.
Senior prank day for the kids at school, where the juniors go out and they attack the seniors' homes, and the seniors go and attack the juniors' homes. That's what happened. So that's what happened here. But this neighborhood, I think the kids are all older now. There might be an influx of new young kids again, but the last couple of years the kids have been much older, and we don't get that many trick-or-treaters anymore. So
Didn't Whitney Houston, when she lived here, didn't she drive her daughter to each home so she didn't have to walk?
She's coming in a Porsche.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Bobby Christina, she drive her
Christina
in?
came here, yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, Vicki, I meant to tell you, Steve called me all last week, all excited. He was his favorite show, Gilmore Girls, is back on Netflix.
I know.
And
I saw the posts he made on Facebook. How
Gilmore
excited
Girls.
he is.
Gilmore Girls, all 2 and 3 of them, right? How many are there? I don't know.
No.
Gilmore Girls. Tom, tell Vicki, though, what you told me when you got out of your car, though, today about the newest thing in Hollywood.
Okay.
Listen to this.
I just started working out with a trainer, Scott Cameron over at Buckhead Elite Training in Buckhead. It used to be Dolvett Quince's gym from The Biggest Loser, now on NBC. So I'm going there. Now it's got the cryotherapy chamber. I get inside that. This is not a commercial. I'm just telling you. I'm live sharing. But anyway,
he gets
$49.99 for the next 20 callers.
Yeah. But no, seriously, the first visit I can get you in for under $20. But anyway, so I'm in there working out, and I'm looking for a way to get more protein because I'm a man on the go and I don't have access to it. So I was in the food aisle at Whole Foods, and I saw bone broth. This is like chicken broth, but it's been steeping in bones. And so I bought, a couple of bottles of it, get home, and it's got 9 grams of protein per cup and only 35 calories and very low sodium. And so now I go on to find that it's a big deal in L.A. now, and they're doing bone shots, bone juice shots, bone broth drinks. I can now mix it with my protein powder. I keep it in my car if I'm going to go work out. I'll drink the whole thing. It's great. As a matter of fact, I just bought 24 containers of it, bone broth stock online.
Really?
Yeah. From thrivemarket.com.
Bone broth.
Seriously, Steve, now it doesn't taste like chicken, but very
it probably is chicken bones.
It is.
Made from real chicken bones.
Organic. It's really good and healthy. You can cook with it. You know what I'm saying? I'll have you all over for dinner.
What's the difference between that and the
regular chicken broth has maybe 3 grams of protein per cup, and this has 9.
Why does it have more?
Because I guess the bone is seeping in there, all the stuff in the bones. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Hey, can we dedicate this podcast to our good friend Jake Ray, our producer, who just passed away?
Sure.
We love him. He was a great guy and taught us all so much. I went to Athens, Greece with him for Coca-Cola, and that's where we had the big exchange with Rich Voss.
I played that. I put that up on the web this past week. Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Did you listen to it again?
No, I didn't.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I couldn't listen.
You were so good. You were so good with Rich
And the
Voss.
3 of us are going to try to do something for cystic fibrosis, which when you think Jake lived to be 40 years old with cystic fibrosis, that in itself is a miracle that people don't realize. I mean, he was a fighter. He did get a double lung transplant, and then he had to go back and get another lung and a kidney. So the guy was a fighter, but we're going to hopefully put something together at one of his favorite restaurants. It's always got to be a burger, though, because that's all he ever ate, and make it donations to cystic fibrosis in his name.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But great guy.
Yeah, he was a great guy. He was an angel on earth, really. I told Tom this before. I said I was reading all these notes from all these radio people that knew him, and they all were saying the same thing, how he kind of touched their lives and taught them how to live life and have a zest for life, because even though he always was sick, he was always coughing when he worked with us, and always coughing, always sick, but never took a day off, but always made it there, and he could get anybody on the phone in 10 minutes flat that we wanted on the phone. He could track down anybody. It was amazing. And he had such a zest for life. I mean, I'm 20 years older than he was, and he taught me a lot about living life, I think.
We were going over there in that long plane ride to Athens, Greece, And we were like, so excited and pumped up, and we were best buds. And on the flight back, we were on separate sides of the plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't get along?
You were sick of each other?
We just got sick of each other. Fish and house guests stink after 3 days. That's what my dad says. So,
yeah.
But no, he's a great guy. I went and slept on his floor in New York a couple of times, different visits there, and just a great guy. So.
Yeah, my wife went up to a New York trip one time with a bunch of girlfriends, and he insisted when he lived up there, after he left us, he went to Hot 97, as you guys know, and worked with, what's his name, Mariah Carey's...
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon's show. And he insisted on meeting them and taking them to Chinatown to get fake purses.
Oh, yeah.
And because he knew the ins and outs of who to deal with. He's in there talking Chinese with the woman, getting the purses out and all this and that. And so he was quite a guy. Jake Ray.
Miss you. Miss you, Jake.
Miss you, buddy.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hopefully you're safe tonight if you're going to a party.
Drive carefully because rush hour is going to be crazy.
Look out for little trick-or-treaters, all right?
Yeah. So now that we got all that stuff out, next week then we hopefully spread the word around about the Steve and Vikki show here on the podcast with Tommy. And we'll be back again next Friday, everybody.
Cash prizes.
Ow!
Bye-bye.